Welcome back to the Analyst Desk. I'm joined by Sean and Wyatt again, and we just witnessed a very icebox match in that one, where Leviatán have gone down one map in this series, as Furia have taken us all the way to the third, Sean. That was, I would say, just a very fitting map overall.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen Leviatán get bodied like that besides their fracture play actually at lock-in, which may have been why they banned it, but I can't imagine anything looking worse than what we just saw. that was the worst I've seen this team look.
I mean, yeah, I went back out of curiosity, and they've never beaten a team outside of LATAM on this map, and they've lost to teams in LATAM on this map, so it's just not their map, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, instead of fully bagging on Leviatán, I will give credit also to Furia, right? I think DG did a great job on the jet, creating space, finding a lot of opening duels, and obviously Khalil as well. I think you were constantly giving praise when we were watching him, Wyatt. He's been having a banger event.
Yeah, he absolutely has. And I mean, for this Furia squad, let's talk about some of the positives for them. I think even though there was a lot of kind of bumbling from Leviatán, Furia still did a good job of denying the plants and taking advantage of the mistakes.
Yeah, like that opening pistol where, you know, they go up and they try to plant with the harbor, and instead of coving, actually opt to use the defensive sage wall to protect the plant. That clearly did not work well. And on the other side of things, you know, everything was just so drilled. The sage wall protected so well. That's why we saw 12 post plants in that first half, right?
And 5 post plants in the second.
They did get the spike down
every single round.
That might be a world record. I don't know if has that happened before?
Surely.
Maybe, I don't know.
In pro play? I don't know. Probably at least like once. It's still pretty wild to see in that one. But you mentioned Khalil earlier, and Wyatt. Khalil was fantastic across this map. I think he's been consistent throughout this series, but here on the Killjoy, he was looking really comfortable, finding some great lurks to them in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, Khalil is just playing as well as we've seen him play so far. I mean, just consistently showing up, making a name for himself in the wider international space with performances like these. Yeah, it was really, you know, at least in terms of the fragging, the duo of him and Djezin doing a lot of the heavy lifting on that map. What was a part of an overall just rock solid game plan from Furia, an approach to the map. You know, not a unfamiliar one, but just an extremely high quality adaptation of what is familiar to us.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is, Icebox showed us the key edge between Furia and Leviatán, right? Furia's edge is the ability to take those scrappy duels, have your jet player, have your duelist player take risks. And I feel like on Icebox, those risks pay off time and time again. We're going back to a map, though, now where defaults are favored. And unironically, both of these teams are insane, actually, at Ascent, and they run the vanilla comps. So this is where things get really interesting, because can DG have the same success that we saw in Icebox on a more default-heavy map?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I think that for the side of Leviatán, in the past, you guys were mentioning this earlier, this is their bread and butter. This is where King is an IGL is really good at working the mid-rounds on the attacking side, where their fundamentals really shine. And I think that was their success point in map number 1. For Furia now, though, I think this puts them in kind of an interesting position, Wyatt, because in the previous maps we've seen from them, it's been a lot of the innovation, a lot of the interesting stuff that has brought them home. But on Icebox and now on Ascent as well, it'll have to just be their fundamentals over Leviatán.
Yeah, it kind of mirrors what we were talking about in the previous series. We're going to Ascent, both teams play the honest, classic comps. You're going to see just two teams that are excellent at the map, excellent at what the fundamentals of the map essentially require, and doing that at a high level. Like, that's kind of both of their approach. And also, just kind of for reference, like, Furia have taken DRX to overtime on this map. Leviatán have gotten wins over DRX on this map. It's a great one for both teams.
Yeah, it really is. And I think as well for this squad in Leviatán, when they're going into Ascent, if they were to lose this map, if Furia were to continue this momentum and take things up, I mean, what would that mean for this team? Because we were coming into this considering them a dark horse. Leviatán's going to look so dominant, but Furia just stomped them on Icebox. It feels like this Furia team is continuing to try and put themselves in conversation to be one of the top teams in America. Americas.
Yeah, before the series, I would have said it doesn't really matter too much if Leviatán dropped this map. I still see them making a deep run in our playoffs, but the way they lost on Icebox, which is a map they try to hide normally, they're trying to hide that with Fracture and not let people pick into it. I think there's now a weakness for people in this region when they go up against Leviatán. And if they drop Ascent, if they show weakness on Ascent as well, it could, you know, be the start of something pretty bad for Leviatán in this stage.
Yeah, especially considering how high that's been in their pool since they debuted at their first international event. I think this match is honestly going to have some big repercussions like 9 weeks from now. I think that this match could actually mean a lot because I think it's very reasonable that both of these teams could be in around that like 2nd to 4th area, and they could be. One of these teams very well may be the team that just misses out on qualifying for Masters Tokyo.
Yeah, and that's heartbreaking. I mean, it was also for Americas 1 map away from having that 4th slot, but now it puts the entire region in this position where one game like this really matters a world of a difference.
Yeah, this is a huge 3rd map, and both of these teams probably feel like they can win this map. I mean, Wyatt set it up perfectly. This is like a home map for almost this entire region, right? This region dominates on Ascent. So what we're gonna see is just, like we keep setting it up, very good fundamentals. We'll probably see a Sova KO, we'll probably see Omens, you know, Jets entering in, dashing to switch, dashing out A for info, and a lot of util and great spacing between these two teams.
Yeah, what I'm looking at in this one as well is that, again, I love talking about some duelist players, so I'm going to talk about some duelist players again. You were already bringing up Digivs in, but this is like the classic Jet v Jet map where I think Taco was struggling a little bit on Icebox. It's clear that the game plan as a whole was malfunctioning for Leviatán, and he himself was struggling kind of as a symptom of that. But this is a map where he is always consistently fantastic.
Yeah, this is one of the maps for me as well, and you saw it at lock-in previous to the time they actually lost it to Na'Vi, but in the first couple games, and even in that one a bit, they put on a masterclass on the attack side on this map in regard to their scaling into the sites and how they play off of Taco when he's getting in off those dashes on the executes. They are amazing in those situations. Particularly, I remember the first couple games of lock-in. The timings on everything on those site execs were just beautiful. Brought a tear to my eye, Mimi.
They really did. And for those of you at home who are watching right now, yes, it is taking a little bit longer to get into game. Wyatt wanted to hear himself talk about Brazilian teams for a little bit more, so we're waiting for him to finish up his points here.
I mean, you know, I could. Do you guys want to hear about MW0 and why they call him Duabala? And it has nothing to do with Bala the caster.
Oh, really?
It has nothing to do with Bala, who's
I would
casting
actually
the
love to know.
It's because he would always play with the Phantom, and it's like 2 headshots, like 2 headshots.
Oh, Duabala.
That's the lore, you know. I mean,
dude, you learn something new every
lore,
day.
you know what I mean? But yeah, heading into Ascent as the decider. I don't know. What are you feeling here, Sean? Are you sticking to your guns with Furia?
I am going to stick to my guns, and the reason being is just what I've seen out of DG in the head-to-head with Taco. And I think the Jets will play a huge part on this map. The defensive opping is always big on Ascent, and I favor DG right now today. And then the attack rifling, I think it's coin flippy. I'm not gonna lie, I do think Leviatán's attack side is insane. They always put up numbers on their Ascent attack side. So if they can bust out some crazy execs and have, you know, like a 7-round attack half, I feel like Leviatán take this map. But I'm having faith in the Furia upset. I'm picking them to upset today.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, Sean, you've worked with teams in VALORANT before when you were coaching with 100 Thieves. On a match like this, where you kind of know what your opponent's going to do, you kind of know what you're going to do, it's like pure expectation, or excuse me, like kind of just basically everyone knows what everyone else is going to do.
Yeah.
You can expect what's going to happen. What are you putting in to kind of try and prepare and come up with ideas to be able to win this one out when you can't really lean as heavily into coming up with new strats to do so?
Yeah, well, you want to know who works certain areas of the map in pairs, right? So both of these teams are going to understand when we see an Omen here, that means the Sova's probably over there, or vice versa. And then they're also going to understand how each other like to use their ultimates. So both of these teams are going to have really defined ways they want to use the KO ult, the Sova ult, and probably like the Omen ult on defense to rotate to back B. So you may see fakes to get the Omen ult to go back B. There'll be all kind of little meta plays because they both know this comp so well.
Yeah, and well, talk of the composition, looks like it is going to be exactly what we expected, Wyatt.
Yep, no surprises there whatsoever. It is the Ascent comp that we have seen for a long, long time because it's just so consistent.
Yep, it absolutely is. What I'm looking at here, the two duelists going head-to-head. Also, these two Sentinel players. What can Shy do? What can QCK do? It is going to be a good one. Leviatán versus Furia ends here. Map number 3, over with your casters, Doug and Bala.
Thank you so much, Mimi. Bala, I should learn to trust your predictions at this point, because there have been a couple of times you said, my gut says this, and I go, nah. And he's unfortunately often right. Where are you feeling? Where are you this time?
I'm kind of with Sean. I kind of feel like putting the performance of the players head-to-head against each other right now makes a good argument for a potential Furia comeback, or Furia win in this series, a Furia upset, if you will. Although, I think one thing is clear. There are no tier breaks at the top of Americas.
No, not at all. I should be agreeing with you, but I'm just going to Mark Phillips my way through this, and I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to say you're entirely wrong. Leviatán should remain on top. Either way, we're just a couple of moments away from figuring out what will be the case. Furia is starting off on attack. We'll see what they do.
Who will be joining Loud as undefeated at the top of the split so far? Will it be their compatriots, their Brazilian compatriots in Furia? Or will we have Leviatán truly challenge for first place?
I feel like as far as challenge goes, we've definitely already seen that. I think it just kind of goes back to the bigger question around Furia. We saw them answering in one map. You push a top team, you're finally able to close them out on one, but can you do it for a series? Can you do it again?
The ones I remember, yeah. It's fallen both on even finishing a map, but also in the series. Again, I recall them taking down Icebox against Fnatic back at Champions. That was back when Nosworth was on their team. Look at this pivot. They take mid control right now. Digizin gets all the way up through the smoke, so he clears and knows that no information is had by them. And again, brawling up Cat. Gotta get through these mollies, though.
His positioning could be a lot as we start to see some of the rotates through. Once they realize that there is a hit heading towards A, that very well could be everything.
That's disgusting.
Shy still playing down in hell, and he gets him with the turret.
He's still down there, too, and they haven't cleared him. 20 seconds. They've got to get the spike.
Yeah, they've got to go, and the spike's not in hand right now. Khalil close by. DG's still alive, still healthy, is taking some more damage from the turret, but eventually cleared, eventually dealt with. Now 10 seconds left. DG's in, looking to get the spike down. He's going to get challenged right off the bat. King waiting with a frenzy there. Looks to wait just the wrong time. Is Shy from up top.
Last player standing.
That's one.
The artist spot.
1v1. Now it's 40 HP, and he drops him. First pistol of the series going in favor of Leviatán.
He just needed to stay in the artist spot. Got that first kill, but credit to Shy in that round, man. That guy stayed alive for so long, and that's the thing that I've noticed for him in these first two series for Leviatán. There's the turret kill. He is so patient, never overcommitting there. He stays alive in hell for so long.
With a free gun, by the way.
And most of these, I mean, both of these games, both of these maps started off with Furia winning the pistol and ended with them even converting the bonus. So this is a great start and response for Leviatán on what many would consider their best map.
With the gun advantage, they lose one of them.
He's so dangerous.
King is
Bulldog
so close, but he can get overwhelmed here. He's got to be careful. King takes two with him. Oh boy.
That's a classic.
Okay. Right, well.
Oh, doesn't have time. Can't Indiana Jones it.
Let's wait this one out. All still good. QCK with a shorty. Ouch, that hurts.
Their second shot? Wow. What a read. What? I think for sure Shy must have spotted him there. So still down to a 2v2.
And there have been two upgraded weapons from Furia.
Can't use that.
This could be trouble. I mean, it already is, but can they close it out? Utility to cover the flanks.
Revealing area.
Everything cornered. They have info. They know that there's one Jenny and that the other dart was closed. So he knows the other one is hell. Swinging around, pushing it, instantly swinging through, and Khalil from hell stops it.
I've seen this round before. This specific one has happened. Khalil again with the Spectre, again in the post plant against the retake. It was the same thing against the familiar Latin American opponents for them in crew. Owner not happy with that one either.
No, I'd be pressed too.
We haven't seen him too animated so far this game. Oh, there we go. Digison getting way too aggro through that one way. And while he responded with the first kill with a sheriff of his own in the last round, he loses a crucial weapon right away.
A little taste of his own medicine.
Not there.
They look like they want to regroup after this one-way fades and go straight into an A hit. But the thing is, QCK is on the other side of the map. And there's also 4 Leviatán players here, juggling the Phantom away. Toss it off the map.
Yeah, I'll carry this. I'm done.
Here.
It would be crazy if that came back to bite them.
Traveling.
But only 50 seconds left. They have to take some sort of a risk.
2 knives used, and I believe Taco was able to sidestep Furia's. So it looks like they're gonna want to push forward. Do they have any smokes? Yeah, Khalil has some.
They found the right site. The turret already taken care of.
Molly's good. Second Molly might be good too. If nothing else, it buys time and it buys some space.
And they did not go recover that gun, so it's 5 sheriffs here. And Takaleo with the shorty. QCK isolated.
The Cloudburst, the only thing keeping him back. What is the movement?
Enemy remaining.
Oh, the sheriffs are doing it, man. But he's not done yet. He's got to tuck away. He's got to run. He's paranoid. He's flashed. And he's left alone. 1v3 turns into 1v2. He's gotten the spike to happen. The Thrifty gets thrifty.
Thrifty.
What a response. And again, the decision was good there, I think, for Furia to rotate back up mid, go dry once they spot the turret. They up the pace. They find. That's a ridiculous shot from Shy. And then again, Takaleo with the classic, just updrafting out of his smoke, making it so impossible for him to be a target.
Yeah.
And the rest of his teammates can just swing with him. Yeah, he's going to be losing some years after this match. But your team won the round, Owner.
Team won the round. You've got full guns. You have full armor. You have an ult for Shy. Couple of reasons to smile. But that's now 2 Thrifties in a row, so.
And there's big tools here. They brought a little bit. We've got the Vandal as well on Khalil, and the knives of Digison. He's been so nasty with them. Remember those first 3 rounds of Icebox, how crazy he went. Fast split here. Doors closed.
Someone help.
It's not the duelist's job.
He is patient. Oh, he's so patient. He spots Shy. Now dashing his way forward into the Cloudburst and right into the Nano that was waiting on the other side. It looked like it was him. The second one lands.
They've broken it open. Whoa! Another shot. Right as the smoke fades.
DG's so weak here. Still has the blades. A 3v3.
They haven't gotten the spike across yet. There's the TP lane, finally.
Yeah, but Taco's already applying so much pressure. The paranoia should
Look at
buy
the
some
flank!
space, but QCK is in the right place at the right time. Creeping its way forward. Mazzino done.
Flash gone.
Planted.
3v2 here. Taco spotting one. DG's in managed to upgrade a weapon. They're divided. They're split.
They don't have to peek at all. QCK's got his turret too. He doesn't have to peek.
How do they play this? They flash, they swing out, and they get QCK. But now it's still just a 2v2.
They don't even know if both of them are in sight right now.
That Molly's good though. That Molly should be good. It's got it down to 1v1. What is this map, man? DG's in still his blades.
4 HP.
Goes wide. The shot, the big through the walls. What on earth is this?
There's no way.
I'm so done, bro. It's been 4 rounds.
A sheriff spam into the boathouse. How do you even think to do that? So heads up from King. And again, this guy is a monster. As the IGL, as the leader, as the guy who is spending so much energy on calling the strats. And that was done. If he doesn't get that kill, the shorty is coming around and taking a shot.
Oh, 1000%.
And he's dead, no matter where that bullet hits. It could hit lane, I don't even care.
Right, well, after that, let's take a quick pause. Let's take a timeout.
And it's Owner who's calling it. It's Owner. You can see the frustration on his face in the last couple of rounds. It's Owner who's calling the timeout right now.
After round wins, no less. So he clearly sees something. Yeah, they have a 2-round lead, but it's just been too close. There's something that he feels the need to call a timeout for early on.
Definitely not happy with how scrappy this game has been so far. I don't use that term lightly. This has been ridiculous. Already 3 clutch rounds. Only one that wasn't clutch was the pistol. And we're back into it. I think what I'm talking to my team, if I'm Owner there, is about how easy their B split is going down. How fast they can get up mid, how easily they're breaking the turret, they're breaking the alarm bot.
Turret out.
And how much that's gonna cause problems and force retakes like that to come out. No command on for Furia. No command on for King as well. Both sides can trade that, and right now you're seeing they're playing aggressively to try to take out some of these ults on the side of Furia. If they could find Mazin before he pops his ult, that would be huge. Smoke actually did leave a gap there. Shy's not going to take advantage of that. He's actually playing anti-flash right now, off the alarm bot.
Take flight.
It's interesting too because it's oftentimes you see the Sentinel on defense be the one who's playing pretty far back, knowing that there's a no command online.
Yeah.
But they're choosing to leave Nowser in a position where he can still use his ult as cover if things get hairy.
Furia, 58 seconds on the round, and they're looking to fake right now. See if Takalia bites. He's the guy who needs to stay there. Using the ult on Cat right now.
Nowser's the one who bit. Meanwhile, GG's in, clears his way forward. He's gotten one. Okay, what else is the rotates? Yeah, awesome.
And also that no command actually suppressed everybody in the map because he was going up Cat. So that final pulse delays a lot. Shy's got lockdown.
Mazin is in such a key position here. He's the only one playing off. They know the lockdown is a possibility, so they have to funnel out. They can't stay back. They've already have 2 who've been able to clear out to get out of that precarious spot in QCK and in Mazin.
But it's a lot of space back in Boathouse though.
He used it so far back.
Dart out as well. They got to clear that. Any tags? No.
Oh, the flash could be good though.
Baited for QCK. They re-smoked? What?
They're holding. They're holding. He doesn't know they're there. QCK's in a great spot.
Oh,
Mazino clotheslines him. QCK gets pushed and he gets dealt with.
Right now.
Great retake from Leviatán. Great patience. And great handling of the situation that they definitely got played in that early round on that call. But they have the tools to shore up what gaps they left early on.
I really hope we get an owner cam here to see what his response is after that one. If he's more satisfied, more satiated with their play.
Game so far has been any key. He's not happy with even a plant.
All smiles from Taco, though. All smiles from the guys on the stage.
Hey, it's 4-1. This is the best start they've had all day. This is way better than the best start they've had all day. To be able to withstand those rounds where Digizin's going crazy, where it comes down to 1v1 situations too, and to force Furia to take the first couple of ecos of the game, that's huge.
One of the reasons we find ourselves in this position is because of the success that Furia finds early in maps, right? Yep. They find themselves up 4-0, up 5-0, 6-0 in some instances, but now the script has totally been flipped.
They're definitely light on the trigger with some of this util, but in this case they have more than their opponents. It's just sheriffs, but they've been so dangerous. He just knifed behind him to check if they're flanking in heaven.
Yeah.
If they're up by that window.
Yep. Lost control, but that also gives Taco a position to take that line. Mazino's just spraying him down. There's no easy way into this site.
Spike down A.
It's labored, it's cumbersome, but for Leviatán, it's flawless.
Fury is going for a much more slow style here, I think. In a lot of instances, Digizin's trying to take tree control, and I think that's kind of the adjustment that Leviatán is making. In their game against Crew, Furia played Ascent, and he was diving into tree, and not necessarily pouncing on it, just kind of taking that space and giving himself room to call if there's a rotate, or they can throw a flash for him to pounce through that window. And that's why you see that knife thrown behind him. Once they lost tree control, they know that that's a possibility, even though they have players rotating in. And now it's Furia's chance to call a timeout. Furia's chance to figure out what adjustments Leviatán has made so far.
I mean, you come out, if you're Furia, you come out of this timeout with something fast, right? I mean, given the success that they have and how that has really just kind of defined their play style, is they want to go fast. They want to put DGs in a position to dictate the pace of the round, and it hasn't been that at all this half.
Yeah, I would argue as well that it wasn't necessarily like that for Icebox either. I think Digizin was trying to get much more methodical picks, but there were rounds where it was explosive off rip. On Pearl, that was a different story. They had a completely different comp with the Neon. And I think as well, what you're playing up against here on Ascent is so studied. Everybody knows how this comp plays, and it's really difficult to rush them. It's really, really difficult to rush them down. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, that is. Spike was getting work.
And again, that's why I like the focus on the post plant. But this is different to me. Right now, you're definitely going to see ability to retake here from both these sides when it comes to their defenses.
Hey, look at how far back Furia are playing in B main.
And this is shocking too. I mean, it's a shift in the game plan because, again, against Crew, what they were doing constantly was throwing a dart from top mid that clears bottom mid and throwing a flash to cover it so that Digizin could run up mid and break that alarm bot every single round.
Here.
Here, they've got tools though. Lockdown in the heads of QCK. Are they going to go for a tree lockdown after some mid pressure?
Well, you've got the mid pressure. Where do they go from here?
Straight through. They're going right back towards that B split.
Shy peels back. You've got Mazzino. You've got.
He canceled his ult.
That's the ult too. Out of MW's era. Shy not getting tagged. Able to dance around. It does take some damage there on the final pulse.
There's 3 players in sight right now.
Oh my gosh. He's feeling all of the pressure, and Mauser's not able to do anything. Now DG's in with the classic tries, getting one, not able to.
20 bullet. 20 HP.
No, and the lockdown used. That's going to force Leviatán to throw a pause on this thing, wait it out. Take a step back and then regroup.
There's a smoke to flood though. King's called the flood.
And this is not out of the realms of possible. You've got to clear tight left. Surely you clear tight left. Now you know where they are. Mazzino falls. King does too.
Right back to success for Furia, and what worked in those first couple of rounds, even as the score is 5-2, even though they've only taken 2. Multiple times now they've been able to plant on this B side. And Mazzino's definitely jumpy with that lockdown trigger. I'm surprised they don't make a plan around it. But those plans are easily able to be read with how, again, much this comp is played at the pro level.
It's hard to innovate when you've seen this as much as you have. There's the knife. He was waiting for it. Mazzino's gotten past it.
Oh no.
He's gotten past it! He's gonna get both! And now the paranoia in his face, he's able to get away!
Just disastrous. You see the anti-stratting in full effect, and the anti-calling in full effect right there. That knife, consistently used by teams on Ascent to clear out Wine and close A main. He just ducks in front of it while the one-way's still up. If Furia waits a little bit longer, that one-way's gone, and he can't play that far up anymore.
Right. Certainly not how Furia wanted to start this round.
I mean, the quiet and the slow approach right here, to me, looks like they might want to save here, Doug.
Dude, I was about to say, they don't have a ton of money, and yeah, there's still 50 seconds left, and you still have a spike and whatnot, but I think they're just cutting their losses early.
Look, they're marking right now. They're marking what they're trying to fix. They're using this as an extra timeout. Discussing it.
30 seconds left.
Mazzine, who is dead right now, the IGL of this team, and Digizin as well. Emotional leader that we keep calling him. It is kind of shocking to see them go for something like this, especially given how good the starts have been from them. Now that they're
10
challenged,
seconds left.
to see them show a little bit signs of frustration, in my opinion here. They don't want to spend another time out this half. And the thing that I'm thinking as well is this is a defensive-sided map. It's been leaning that way, especially with this specific comp as a mirror for quite some time.
Oh, it's just kind of insane to think that him Mazino stepping past that knife
Yep.
was the round, right? Like, that's what decided that round.
Yep.
I do think, though, yeah, you're right. Fury don't want to call another timeout, but I like that. Cutting your losses early on, and
Sure.
as you said, using it as a timeout effectively.
I mean, my point is more so about how that might speak to frustration on their end, though.
Sure.
And that could spiral out of control. Just in fast again, this time using a flash at least and a dart as well to force these players off of A main, but you've got to be careful. Mazino can always respond with a paranoia of his own.
Or King with a flash and swinging out by his own as well. That's why they have numbers here, and they have almost all of them.
Here's the fast round you were wanted.
Hell is still not clear. Now they know the paranoia should cause some troubles, but the kills go back and forth 1 for 1. You still have Shy, who's playing up in heaven, now arriving to the site. And DG's in just beneath him. Ahead spotted, the spike planted.
He's out in the open, and that smoke fades. Khalil's the planner. It has no room back in there. I'm looking at QCK right now on Cat.
Placing sentry.
Leviathan's so considerate, though, of these types of positions.
He's got some info, too. Oh, but the turret is just so careful. It's so planned. Everything covered.
Last player standing.
Yeah, just about everything covered. Well, it got close at the end there. They got a little uncomfortable, but Leviatán are going to continue to pile it on.
And while it might have been Leviathan struggling with the post plants on Icebox and thriving in the post plants on Pearl, maybe this is Furious time to start struggling. The air dive bombs from Taco are so consistently damaging. It's like a B-52.
Turret out.
All right, what do Furia do? They're broke. They have the blades for DG's in, though.
Right here.
This is why Leviathan's considered one of the best Ascent teams in this Americas League. It's moments like this when it looks like there's no solutions. Finally, we're going back to this mid-control from Furia that I mentioned was so successful against Leviathan's Latin American counterparts of Crew.
Cheeky little spot there from DG's in.
Oh,
my
come
goodness.
on. That is... I mean, that's just broken. That's so good from Nauzer.
Oh, it's a 6.
He's pushing in spawn.
But he doesn't know that he's there. Oh, my goodness. What a shot. I thought Taco would have the jump on him.
They're still pivoting. He's literally in a playground in spawn right now while the rest of his team is struggling to find a way to actually approach this site.
This is the Scrappy that we're referring to. They just now picked up the spike. Meanwhile, they have got their duelists in their spawn.
Shy's not cleared. Oh,
Patient.
no.
He's patient. 1, 2. Yeah, the transfer's clean. The third falls as well. And yeah, they have the spike now. I guess.
Oy vey. Look, the desk was harsh about Leviathan's Icebox. But I think they were right. That wasn't the one that they were relying on. And they were fully comfortable as their map 3.
And you see why.
Yep.
We talk so often about how this map is heavily fundamental, right? The teams that exceed on this map, that find so much success here, are the ones who are so thorough in their game plans, who do everything correctly.
Oh, there's a dart play here. They're darting and flashing, and he's going to try to spam one down in tiles. Fury is ready for this, and Digis and somehow escapes.
Wait.
Just took a whole... He just died.
Yep.
Where'd the molly come from? The player is on B. He's on B. He threw a lineup. And just one dink. One dink from Nauzers. Odin is enough to kill him, and that's the tip of the spear. And again,
The round is all effectively done.
Taco's got to get this kill. And, yeah.
The round is done.
And there's not really much in the terms of bolts, in the terms of punish, like, util here.
Yeah.
Like a Hunter's Fury, a drone tag, or something like that.
Yep.
They're going to farm it for the last round.
Might as well, yeah. Dude, you know production's back there scrambling to find out where that nano came from. You know they're looking for it right now.
I'll tell you, Shy on B site with the knife in the study.
Oh, man.
You don't got to play a game of Clue to find out. That was nasty.
It's just,
And it's another one of these timeouts. These cobbled
30
together.
seconds left.
yeah, but it's just...
Makeshift.
The circumstances are so different here, right? Because the last time we saw something like this, there was still a chance for them to rectify what was going on to get us to a competitive half. But
Yeah.
this just feels like this has an entirely different tone, in my opinion, to it.
Yeah.
This is them defeated and dejected, and like we can't
10
figure
seconds
anything out.
left.
Are they really going to stumble at the last chance here in week 2 of a match that Wyatt was talking about could matter a lot down the line? Hold on, they're going to lose guns here. Never mind. MW's
Last
okay.
round
They just
before the
lose one.
switch.
They should be okay. No, it's brutal. Guardian, Spectre, Bulldog. It's brutal. There's the Molly. Oh, he fully died to the Molly.
Yeah.
Excuse me? How does that happen?
Did he not have dash?
He wants to stay in that corner so he doesn't get spammed. And thought he had a little pocket. Okay, I thought he did get spam damage done. And maybe actually it's not spammable in that corner. Maybe that's why he's going for it, but not again.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Is there a point in explaining?
I don't think so.
The round starts and Digizin instantly off of the same peak that Taco's been hitting. I think he's peaked that 4 times this game.
Yeah,
and found
maybe
kills
3.
twice.
Yeah, 2 or 3 times. Either way, it's a lot of success for Leviatán and not very much for Furia.
But this time they've got those ults that I was talking about. Mazum with his null command, MW with his Hunter's Fury, and they've got an idea, a plan. More so to use QCK actively rather than passively on the flank. I mean, they're not even in. There's no smoke for him to dive into it right there. He's on site, though.
King's just waiting. Huge out from Khalil, though. Huge out from QCK.
Oh.
Can he find another? And then you got to keep a look at the middle of the map. Yeah, QCK had a chance to find another opener through the middle, but no. Nowzer's ready.
Player
What? He's
standing.
waiting for it. What was that shot? Oh, it was from down below. Nowzer left in the
Shot
1v2.
planted.
He's healthy, and he's got the best gun on the map.
This man would be proud to hear you say that.
No utility for the Sova.
5 seconds on that dart.
And, dude, they're so far away from each other. MWZero is able to spam a little. The shock darts, he's got another dart that just came up.
Ahead.
That's to stop MW from peeking right there.
Caution.
Surely he doesn't hit the spam, right? He knows there's someone down in hell. Khalil gets 4 on the round to get Furia to 3.
That is big from Khalil. He TP'd on with no
Switching
smoke.
sides.
Usually his jet player is there to smoke for him, and he TP's into that, but he doesn't. He just does it dry, and he gets ahead of where the players were.
Yeah, it was very well played.
But King is completely clueless that that happened.
Yeah, unaware. Oh, there was a clean shot out from Khalil. What looked like it was going to be a secure kill for Taco just kind of goes sideways. You got a couple nods, not popping off, not yelling, but okay, yeah, we got this. We got the round that we needed. Let's throw it down to Mimi and the rest of the desk to see what they think about that half.
Thanks very much, Doug. Yeah, 9-3. It's not fantastic, but it feels doable for Furia. However, the thing that kept him in that throughout all of the first half on the side of Leviatán was the retakes yet again, which continue to be absolutely fantastic for this squad, Sean.
Yeah, their retakes were booming all half. I mean, first it started off at the A site, but in the middle stages of that half, the B retakes, this one in particular, the Sheriff shot through the wall.
That's gross.
Yeah, that was disgusting. There was the KJ ult round from Spawn that they had no business winning. And they ended up retaking that round as well. This retake in the A site, there was so many cool plays that Leviatán busted out in the middle part of that half to just run away with the half. But then you saw the play for Tiles with the nano
So
storm.
cool.
That was so cool. It's just an extra layer for the Tiles play that you see time and time again throughout the scene. And Leviatán's innovating on such a stale map, you know, with the same comps we've seen over and over. They're still doing new things.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, and at least in some amount of those rounds, they were able to play for the retakes because they were doing a good job of getting openings, whether it be the stuff like that, but also just, this is a map where Taco was actually able to AWP effectively. Like, he was taking a lot of peeks on Cat to get opening picks, which were really important on some of those rounds, so then just play passively and wait to actually go into a retake later. And I think he was getting more value on the AWP than we had seen on the previous maps, sorry. So.
Yeah, but we really set this one up as being an even affair, and it's Ascent, super defensive-sided map. Do you think this is still one that is winnable for Furia?
Yes.
Okay.
And that is not a cope. Yes. I told you maybe they needed 3. They got 3. Now, not saying like they needed 3 and they're going to do it 100%, but literally, I think if they got less than 3, it would have been impossible. But I think with 3 and a pistol, Sean, you're making a face like I'm out of my mind.
Yeah. Like
It's Ascent. It's Ascent attack. Listen, listen, I can tell you right now, Leviatán are winning. I'm providing hope to the masses, Sean, all right? I'm providing hope to you. You printed Furia.
No one's buying it, Wyatt. But maybe Furia will buy it. Furia has to believe. We're going to send things back to the casters for half number 2. Wyatt, it's okay. Calm down.
Okay. I mean, okay.
Dude, I'm so glad they cut Wyatt off. I don't know where he was going. I don't know what he was trying to say there, but it was dangerous.
No, look, Wyatt's
it was irresponsible. No, what?
No. He said if it was less than 3, it'd be different, and I less than 3 him, so he's right. God, come on.
I can't. Wow. That might have been your finest moment.
I'm proud of that one. Anyways. It's all up to this pistol.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, yeah. And they've already lost sight. There's nobody here!
Where are they?
They're just gonna play retake, I guess. The knife's gonna tag a couple people, but by the time they show up, the site's already been lost. The spike should be planted. You can't effectively flood from here.
Yeah, but the B-main flank is gonna be okay here.
MW0 is playing lineups? Or he's AFK? He may have just walked up.
He's holding the spawn for this push to come in. Doesn't want to lose control of it, and for good reason. They retake B-main, and now everybody's on site, and they know it.
Once again, the scrap from Furia. Is it going to be enough? Numbers in favor of the defensive side. They've got a shot at this thing here. King choosing not to use the knife and getting hit by one. Feeling overwhelmed, feeling pressured.
Player standing.
And they've bloody done it. I mean, they've freaking done it. DG's in with 3. They get the pistol they needed.
They did not even play on the B site in that round. They completely had a plan to push on A. And push they did. 3 players coming on the flank. And Furia successful on the pistols today. It's 4 and 2 on our final pistol. They take huge advantage, and hey, that's the reason why they're able to fight so streaky in this game. And so far, they have not lost an anti-eco. They have not lost a bonus when they follow up with the pistol round before a streak. So let's see what comes. Leviatán has been very dangerous today and in the past with these, and Mazin's actually not able to TP out of here, so let's see what happens.
Why? They tucked. I can't believe they tucked. They left the molly in such a good spot. I mean, they knew where he was. I guess they were worried about a flash or something.
Well, the problem there as well, Khalil did flash earlier. That's why they weren't able to pounce immediately. That's why they tuck, but they also don't have a nade to get him out of there. So they're not trying to use their util, and they get naded themselves. Reclear coming here. Oh, what?
Another? Oh, not able to land. Traded back. Numbers in favor of Furia. Still 2 sheriffs in play. Yeah, but there's so much pressure in the lap of Shy. Kisuke waiting just on the other side of this brick wall. Keeping them at bay, and he's making, I mean, takes a little bit of damage, but he had no intentions of hiding his position. He was loud.
Yeah. Took a lick, hit a lick. He's out of there with the info. Knife just cleared Cat, so right now Mazin thinks he's safe, but little does he know on the other side. He's doing a good job jiggle peeking here, though.
30 seconds left.
Khalil does not have a flash to follow up and help him out, so can he fall into sight after this?
You don't need a flash to help you when you got a flash of your own.
Taco's flank is dangerous, actually.
And Shy Spectre, Shy Sheriff is too. Spotting 2 more. That's so clean out of Khalil. And now's his position given away. Time not on his side. He isn't even really able to get plant money at this point.
Nah, these guys are insane. That spam through dice there. That's ridiculous. But what is this from Mizzino?
Dog.
My goodness.
But then he misses a slow one if someone just walking into his screen.
I mean, he must have adjusted so hard on his mouse pad for that one kill that he wasn't ready for the next. Good trade, and Furia, they've got that DJs in op. That round 3 that they rely on so much. They relied on it at lock-in. It's not super common because a lot of teams want a bonus here. But specifically with Jet players, a lot of times it's useful because you might have knives at this point. Or even into the next round.
Enemy kill.
That's a start at it. And what an advantage it gives them on the bonus. No more super initiation power. In terms of the flashes, it's all up to Mizzino for that.
He's tucked too. You can see the ping on the minimap, concerned that someone may be playing back in wine. But patience from Leviatán.
It's pretty impressive here. Shy takes the gamble to walk up into Cat. Maybe he heard Khalil fall off.
Shadows traveling.
Or what, but Khalil has no clue.
He has no idea! Shy gifted
They know where he is. He's smoked off, flashed out.
With 40 seconds left, they choose to double down, and they want to fight this anyway. They're going into the op. They're going into DG's in, and they've taken care of them.
Amazing. Reposition from Takaleo, top gen. He can spot the feet.
Shot done. Out of charges.
We got 2 people down in hell.
They don't have the util to do this.
No, they really don't. What do they have? They have a flash from Azine, and that's it?
Ooh, spam. They have a spam.
There's the second flash. QCK swinging around. No challenge. Oh my gosh, he has so much info! That was only able to get one.
Player standing.
They've gotten it so far. How have they gotten it so far?
Ridiculous. And what Takaleo bites off ends up being Mazin, who uses that same position to find the player down in dark, recover the op, and bonus round secured. That's a huge, huge shift in momentum. And all of a sudden, we're seeing the same situation that we saw at Pearl, where that comeback from Leviatán was incredible. From 6 down to 3, the differential in this game. Doug Wyatt was saying there might have been another 9-3 blessing.
Dude, I was about to say the same thing. I was about to say the same thing.
We have been treated to some amazing games of Valorant so far in Americas. But this series, I understated, I think, the importance of this. Not only would Furia, if they take this down, beat one of their demons, and take down and finish down one of the best teams in the league, potentially in the world. Not only that, but they complete the Latin American labyrinth that they've gone through at the beginning of this series. Split. And that's a challenge in and of itself. To get through a whole style, a whole region right away at the top of the split allows you to focus on bigger beasts.
And again, to go back to what you were saying, this is not a small beast. All right, this is Leviatán, right? This is considered one of the best in the world. Now here, still hanging on to a 3-round lead. Faint memories of the disaster that was the 9-3 blessing from before.
Here.
They're knowing potentially, I mean, this could happen to them.
Blocking sight.
DJs started this round so far back, trying to wait for the knife and being in position to receive a B push.
Opshot just a little early, and Taco
Staying on site.
dashing into the belly of the beast.
This is just stingers here.
Look at how far up he is! And he's up that far by himself!
Spike down.
Ooh,
B.
QCK got him anyways.
Still have some presence on site, and the entry for Leviatán is just no longer there. There's no flash for King to pop out and then swing with. There's just dry swinging.
It was a Hail Mary rush.
Yeah.
B split with the no util that you have, and now you're frozen. Oh my God. That's a spam shot from B main on the stairs. He's still going for more, too. What a freeze right now. Digizin is very uncomfortable. Look at his teammates. They've left him.
But Leviatán have to go here. Right? They've spotted him. They know where he is, and they've got to find info to understand that's the only one here. Do they flood now? Does it matter?
Pops the knives.
Blades on. He wants to go fast. He wants to go forward, and now it's just gotten closer to him. Shy cleans him up, though. And now they've left the attack stuck on the site and dead. Furia get to 7.
They were stuck in the mud there.
Careful.
An awkward position to be in.
It took so long. It was a good initial hold. There's that shot. You were talking about Shy got so deep in there. Excuse me, Taco there, downstairs. And we're down to 2. Digizin still with the op in his hands. He did lose the knives there, but that was a potential for him to just lock up the round. Just definitely agree with the choice. And Leviatán back to what has worked on prior maps. Digizin's gonna go for more. Shy did not spot him there, and he gets tagged for it.
Yep. Good knife. That should, yeah, it spots 2 of the Invest 100 Fury too. Dancing around. Can he get anything here? Oh, yes, he can.
Big kill. Rotates on though. Look at QCK on the other side of the map. He just peeked all the way up B main.
Swarm grenade out.
And they've got a lockdown too to pressure him once he goes down and falls off the site. They're indecisive about where they want to go though. And they might just walk right back into Digizin, who's trying to re-clear.
Oh, with the op still.
He doesn't have a dash here.
He's got the angle though.
Probably has a shorty in his hands.
King has a flash. Do they flash through this? Or do they just go dry? There's the flash. He turned. You mentioned no dash. Doesn't matter. The first one falls. The second
30
traded.
seconds left.
And you can see it on the minimap. Fury hot to try, trying to apply some pressure from the middle of the map, trying to provide some relief for Khalil's. He's the only one on the site now.
Spike planted.
Managing to avoid all of the utility, managing to avoid all of the damages. QCK has arrived. And now Nowser's left alone in this 1v2. Playing inside the lockdown, doesn't have a choice, has to swing it, and pays for it with his life. As Furia bring the gap down to 1.
That is absurd from QCK again. And those are rounds that Leviatán must win. 4v5 for them as they go for that execute. Actually, I think it was what? 4v3. They had the man advantage. And it slips from them immediately. Again, a very fast trigger finger on that lockdown. QCK forces the pressure to come out. Because that one also is clearing wine, by the way. That one is so deep. So you could just get the defuse if you can ever get that lockdown. But it's spammable, it's very pushable, it's spottable from Dice too. Fury have gotten Leviatán desperate. They're going for another Stinger Force. Light armor all the way down.
It's more than desperation, man. They have him on the ropes.
The good thing here is there's util. All the Force or light buys from Leviatán so far have come with no util, so there's not a nade to flush things out. There's no mollies to actually hit the execute. They're gonna go for a cat push with Mazino's flash. And it's the same strat that Furia actually runs. He's going way up.
DGZ was able to get past that.
They don't know. They don't know. They're not paying attention. He kills them anyways.
Unreal. They have some pressure up in tree, yeah, but they don't have control of the site. And now Shy falls. There's got to be so much out from King, but he's been spotted. The drone gives his position away.
Scanning ahead.
I mean, you still have time to flip the map, I guess, but you're so far up. How much can you find? Nothing. King falling. Khalil holding the line on the site. Mazino's gotten 2.
He can TP. The nade's gonna. Oh, so close to dying.
Uh-oh.
Didn't pick up a weapon and down to 38 HP for that. Loses his ult too.
Planted.
He's gonna play for this.
He's gonna play in the smoke.
That's a good reposition. Oh, goodness.
18 HP.
Yeah, it's a good reposition, but it is a one and done.
And he needs 3. A one and done's not enough.
With a stinger, man.
Turns the flash. Patient 1. That's it. Woo. That was close. It looked like the spray was there.
Yeah, QCK is gonna go run and get that op. That op has been surviving round after round. hasn't really been a factor, actually, because they're going for such creative,
Yeah.
well, not necessarily creative, but chaotic hits. The things that force these rounds there to become chaotic is stuff like fast flanks, stuff like pushing up by yourself in spawn.
Everyone note down your observations, then let's run it again.
QCK is keeping the op. QCK is keeping the op right now. Digizin doesn't have it, and he's postured up to peek cat. Very surprising. They might flash up top mid, and Digizin might dash top mid. But the funny thing is there's nothing here from Leviatán. So this one might hurt them in terms of investment, but they could find some crazy position from this.
He's up, you're right. He dashes around. Look at how much pressure they've already applied, but DGZin, who was the first one to go, falls. Khalil follows suit. They get the kill. They also get the Hunter Fury kill too. A really cool idea. And they come out of it with the numbers advantage.
He doesn't know. He doesn't even know QCK had that up. Surely they knew they picked it up. Threat dealt with though. Mazzino again, 1v3. Tried it last time.
Can't use that.
Oh, he's 2 HP.
I mean, dog, they know. They know. That's now a lead for Furia for the first time this map.
They tied up at 1-1. For a brief moment, you thought it was going to be a really, really close first half. Leviatán ran away with it. We went up to 9-3. And we're seeing not just signs of the blessing, not just signs of the curse, but it rearing its full ugly head. Furia with a massive comeback. They're in the lead. They're in the driving seat.
Thinking twice about it. Looked like they were going to try it. Yeah, they are.
Initiate.
Early lockdown here. And that clears out wine, but
Placing swarm grenade. Placing swarm grenade.
they're setting up all of the pieces to go from here. Spam through, and just like that, they're able to retake the space that was originally pushed off. King gets his way forward. Shy falls. Now Taco looking for one down in hell. He's going to spot him. Dashes his way up. Unaware of the fact there's somebody literally right above him. Spike's still not planted, but the site should be secured.
No big ults here for the retake for Furia. And King's got the null command as well. He's going to cancel that drone. Well done. Digizin wanted to flood with that.
Oh, that spam was so close. Hit 50 HP. Stays alive for now.
The pings from his null command are telling him where he is, so that might have been a mistake. Now he has to stay behind the gen. Wow, they've gone for a massive flank. The alarm bot is not in factor. QCK again.
Yeah, but Nowzer's ready for it. He's waiting and he's dead. They've gotten that far. DGZin still has the op, and the swing timing is gorgeous. They've done it. They've gotten to 11.
Two-round lead now for Furia. How did we end up here? This is such an absurd comeback. And let me remind you, Leviatán is known for the Ascent. It's not undefeated by any means, but it is feared.
I can't tell. I'm getting like mad scientist vibes from Wyatt right now. Because he literally said he believed, but then he said there's no way they would win. Right? Like, Leviatán was going to win. He played both sides of the fence, and he's put us in this spot.
They're going for a fast B hit. Taco's way up front. There you go. Early kill. QCK's been a monster, though, but he has to deal with the ult in the back line, too.
Dude, Taco's just...
Khalil's here as well.
He's putting the map. He's putting the round. He's putting the game on his back, but Khalil snatches it from him.
Digizin just used 2 smokes as well to feint like he was walking out. But Nowzer's cleared it. He has knives.
He's by himself.
Spike planted.
Spots one. First couple blades don't land. The third doesn't either. It's going to have to be the patience from the star as he gets dropped. Leviatán not ready to let this one go yet. They get to 10.
A battle for top spot in the league. To go undefeated with Loud, who passed that check mark earlier today, would be wild for 2 Brazilian teams to make it there. Right off rip. Would be even more wild for Furia to do it over Leviatán. But once again, are they going to be able to pass the final hurdle?
This round is huge. Furia are so broke if they lose this. They won 8 rounds in a row,
Sure.
and they find themselves 1 round away from being broke.
They have the buffer. Leviatán does not have that buffer. They are also on a reset round.
QCK is so far up here. The turret takes contact, he can swing. Well set up there, but that does not look like that's where the hit's going.
He's got the lockdown. They can opt to play this for retake on A if they so desire, but does not look like that's the option. And you kind of want to use it this round before Nauser gets his ult online. Ditches in with the sliver. He's got such a tight angle on this main push. He's gonna go with the drone.
Of course he goes aggressive and he's rewarded for it! What do Leviatán have left? They don't have Mazzino either!
Remaining.
What a counter punch!
That's him reading the drone
30
timing. That's
seconds
him
left.
consistently looking for the opportunities to find the gaps. And that's Leviatán not taking space early. If they forced A main to not be held, all of a sudden, he could drone from much closer. All of a sudden, there's people holding that angle.
Coming back.
Sure.
10 seconds left.
He's so dynamic, man.
It's scary.
And remember, you know, you called it right at the very beginning. He was holding a sliver. That's a safe, generally speaking, a safe angle to be holding, especially as Jet. You have dash, it's a small angle. You should be able to get away from that if you get challenged. But he swings into it, hearing the drone, and is rewarded with the collapse.
That's the type of thing where usually you wonder, okay, how do you punish when mistakes are made? A lot of times we talk about lower level teams and say, yeah, they're not getting punished for their mistakes. That right there is a prime example. Furia, match point. Furia, 1 round away from going 2-0. 1 round away from taking down their second Latin American team right off rip.
Get out of my way.
Pushed right off. Has to give the space up. Taco's blades online. Can they close it out? Can they finally get past the position that they've stumbled in so many times before?
Where's the response? Where's the fight from Leviatán? This team clutch. King has delivered so many moments. Taco has delivered so many moments. Mazzino, well, it's his first showing for Lev. He's delivered moments on an international stage. Can they do it again?
That's huge. Oh, that's huge! But King trades it back and instantly,
Spike down
numbers
mid.
back in favor of Furia.
35 seconds and the lockdown is placed by QCK in the back of sight.
He waited out. Do you go? DG's in Plux. Now they're out of the sky.
He
Try
low-key has to
finding an
pivot to
angle.
A right now. He
And
low-key has to run.
And there's not a lot of time. They're separated. QCK spotted.
Cover going out.
They have to commit to B. They have to commit to the defenses of Furia, and it's just too much. The
Defenders
Fury
win.
of Brazil takes down the Latin American juggernauts.
They might have just absorbed cruise power and flipped it on Latin America. Brazil, 2 teams immediately undefeated at the beginning of the split. And you wouldn't expect Furia at the beginning of this to be taking down Leviatán. Leviatán, who had such a dominant win against NRG, who were clearly in the top 3 coming into this first split for the Americas League. And all of a sudden that's in doubt. All of a sudden you're wondering, is Furia creeping up into that top 3?
I mean, I don't think it's a question anymore, right? I mean, you're checking big boxes here. And yes, it's single round robin, but you can make the argument both ways, right? You can go, yeah, but it was just one time, or you can go, they did it when it mattered.
Yep.
And that's exactly what Furia have done.
And they've entered the battle for the first and second seed, which, if we mentioned the playoff format, that is so crucial on the path to Tokyo. So important. What a game out of these guys. This was 9-3 at the half. What a comeback.
Yeah, I really feel like after that series, Furia have put the league on notice. Y'all better believe you thought it was NRG and Leviatán and then, you know, Loud. Nah, it's getting real crowded at the top here.
That's a good way to put it. It is crowded at the highest tier in Americas.
QCK was a demon sometimes, man.
I mean, that round might have saved the game for them.
Oh, 1000%.
And the mid push that went badly, and then all of a sudden it went good. Digizin getting that double. Leviatán definitely was struggling with the time this game. That's something we have to point out. They were definitely struggling because of how much of a threat Digizin was. Consistently pushing up, consistently forcing them to spend utility late to re-clear space that should have been already held.
Unreal. Furia take down Leviatán, and then we're just reminded their head coach is still not on site. That's just wild.
It's a good shout.
In the face of the doubters, they silence Leviatán. Unreal. We also had 2 3-9 blessings this series, which is just a bit too... I don't know that my heart can handle things like that anymore.
I thought there was going to be a third one, too, on Icebox.
Yep.
What a performance. And don't forget, not only was this a comeback in the final map here, but it was a comeback in the series, too. Leviatán took Pearl. Remember, Leviatán took Pearl in a heartbreaking way, in a sense.
Yep.
It was a 9-3 lead for Furia on that map. Leviatán took that one, and you thought maybe the same ugly problems are going to rear themselves for Furia. But hey, wow, we see them now for the first time on the North American stream for the Americas League. We get really introduced to them. That was very fun to watch.
That was something. And again, unexpected, right? Unexpected for many people, but they answer the call when it's desperately needed to the most. And again, a juggernaut that they had to deal with. You've got the MVP boat that you're going to have to deal with. Trying to figure out who you think walks away with it. Who is it that's deserving? You got King, Mazzino, and Shy up at play. And I mean, King had himself a series, but
yeah, no,
that's a tough. It doesn't
come close to the players on Fury in that one. That was absurd. Khalil, I think, would go up there at the top right away on Ascent. He was a massive beast in the game against Crew, and he continued here. Those spams that he was hitting from Dice, and then Digizin too. That's the guy. That's the guy that forces all these problems, forces that, in my mind, to happen at all.
I was going to tell you how to scan the QR code, but it's gone off the screen. So I hope you did it before it disappeared. Get your votes and let us know who you think is deserving of the title. Thank you. By the way, we'll be right back. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Verizon post-match interview. I'm standing by with MW Zera and our dear friend Mateos once again to help translate for us. MW, off the bat, you just went through an emotional roller coaster. I mean, lots of high highs and lots of low lows, and you ultimately walk away with the win. Can you give me, from your perspective, what that was like to go through that, to lose a 9-3 lead in the first map and then to close it out that way on the third?
Então, MW Zera, vocês estavam passando por muitas emoções. Como é que você está se sentindo agora? Vocês passaram pelos altos e os baixos e agora terminando essa sequência, ganhando.
Acho que a gente quer mostrar que a gente é um time competitivo e eu acho que um time que quer buscar o topo, principalmente os playoffs, a gente vai ter que passar por dificuldades também. Não vai ser algo fácil, a gente vai ter que dar comebacks, passar por séries difíceis como foi essa e é isso. Isso é só bom pra gente.
We want to show that we are a very competitive team, and although we were going through a lot of emotions, we try to keep our heads together and show the world that we can do this and just keep practicing and keep on winning.
I mean, you didn't just continue to maintain composure. You took down Leviatán, one of the teams that are considered to be at the very top of the world in a lot of ways. And we talked about it on the cast, but you have shown that it's crowded at the top in North America. There's only a limited number of spots, and you guys are fighting for that space. Do you feel like Furia was not getting enough attention or enough love, perhaps, at the beginning of the season?
Então, vocês enfrentaram Leviatán, que é um dos times mais competitivos que tem. E aqui na VCT Américas, vocês não têm tanto espaço nesse mundo do gaming aqui. Você acha que o povo estava pensando que a Fúria não tinha tanto a mostrar? Como é que você está se sentindo sobre essa situação agora?
Eu acho que é muito normal. Acho que, por exemplo, em todo campeonato vai ter os favoritos e o não favorito, né? E a gente sabe que a gente entrou como underdog aqui. Mas isso não muda muito pra gente, porque a gente sabe que a gente treina bastante, a gente foca no que é pra ser focado assim no dia a dia nos treinos e a gente não se importa muito com quem a gente vai jogar contra. Então, acho que na nossa mentalidade isso é o que mais importa, sabe?
So we knew we were coming in as underdogs in this competition and here at VCT Americas, but we can't lose our focus, right? When you come in as an underdog, it kind of makes you feel more pressure, but that also fuels us to keep on going and hopefully keep on doing this and keep on just taking the wins.
MW, that's the problem though, is you currently sit at the top of the standings. You're undefeated. I don't think people are considering you guys underdogs anymore. Were you expecting this position? Were you expecting to be at the top 2 weeks in?
Então, agora vocês estão no topo. O povo parou de pensar que vocês são só os underdogs, tá ligado? Então, como é que você tá se sentindo agora que você tá nessa posição assim?
Na nossa cabeça, a gente sabe que isso era só uma questão de tempo, pra ser bem sincero. A gente é muito autoconfiante. Por mais que a gente sabe que tem times incríveis na VCT Américas, a Leviatán foi uma pedreira, vai ter mais pedreiras pela frente, agora o próximo jogo é contra a Loud. Mas a gente sabe do nosso potencial, a gente sabe o quão a gente é bom também. Então é isso, a gente só tá dando tempo ao tempo, um passo de cada vez e nada mais disso.
Honestly, not to toot our own horn, like we were kind of expecting this to happen. We do have the confidence. It was just time. You know, we needed time to kind of get our foot out here and show to the world what we can do. And now we're gonna go, against Loud, and they're one of the best. So we're just gonna keep the confidence and hopefully do the same thing that we did today.
You put Americas on notice. Congratulations again on the massive win. Enjoy the celebrating. It's well deserved. I'm gonna throw it back to Mimi to the desk. Mimi, by the way, don't let Wyatt high horse about how he knew. He played both sides. Don't let him do that to us.
Don't worry, Wyatt is absolutely never going to be allowed to do that.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all.
That's good. Now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about this game, because Furia came into this, as we heard in that interview, as a team who was an underdog, who most people didn't expect to be able to win this. But coming out of this now, they're a squad who I think do have a chance of being a top 3, a chance of being one of those teams that we get in Tokyo for America.
I agree. They certainly do have a chance of being a top 3 team in this region, but this will put a target on their backs. Taking out Leviatán like this, in this way, on Ascent as the 3rd map, I think a lot of teams are going to be hunting for Furia, and they won't sleep on this team if they were going to already. I mean, they looked so good here.
Yeah, that attack side was, the defense side, the second half was just so clean from them. The plays that they were making in regard to how they were kind of pushing down mid on some of the rounds,
Yeah.
getting aggressive, taking some of the space, which is really cool.
The jet dash into mid with the Hunter's Fury, and then the Killjoy opping on B. So DG gave the op over to Killjoy to op on B. That round was so sick and creative coming out of Furia in the middle of the half. They have so many cool plays like that, little set plays, but they also use skill so much, which makes them such an exciting team.
Yeah, it's fantastic, right? Because we saw, like, map number 1, they have the ideas. We saw some of that here, but we also saw the fundamentals and their ability to adapt, I think, improve even within this series, which definitely puts them in a fantastic place. But that still was a very, very back and forth game. And for the side of Leviatán, they started really strong. And Sean, you picked out a round that I think kind of exemplifies a lot of the back and forth that match.
Yeah, so I picked a round to break down on the telestrator that actually just shows how back and forth this game was. So what I want to draw attention to first are the ults on the board here. This is going to be a long drawn out round because of these ults. So kicking things off right here, we're going to start, and I'm going to speed things up through the default, right? So we're getting some A main control going on, we're getting cat smokes going on, and a knife and market. There's a lot of control across the map right now being made by Furia, and their whole goal is to try to get cat pressure, get A main control, and you can see these two players in A main right now. They're gonna really try to sell this A pressure. So the drone is gonna come out, and what they're trying to do right now is draw the KO ult out of King, and King knows to not pop it in this instance. So King still remains spotting cat through the wall right there. You can see he has his util out. And then as the round progresses, the spike goes back over towards B, and this is when the fake really starts to simmer. So the KO ult is popped on Mazin, and that will immediately cause the Hunter's Fury to be cast from spawn from NZR. And the round just gets wild from here on out because the fake works perfectly for Furia. But what they don't account for is the lockdown at the other site. So they speed up towards this other site, they get their 4-on-4 post plant, and Leviatán comes storming in, and this is where they opt to use the lockdown. And I actually think that Furia handled this fairly decently, right? Two people in B main, and I think they go with a pretty interesting play. One person commits through the smoke, and I'm sure what's calmed at this point by the person committing through the smoke is they won't expect you here as the second. So he runs out with a flash and dies. Unfortunately for him, the fundamentals of Leviatán are so good. You can see throughout this entire time, Mazino's just staring at it. And he's unable to get the kill on QCK, the distance is cut, and Leviatán closed out the round with 3 people alive. It was one of the crazier rounds I've ever seen, and I think both of these teams played this round really well, actually.
Yeah, and I think it's really impressive as well because the fact that Furia managed to win that game is because Leviatán had so many rounds like that where they had the perfect read, they had these excellent retakes throughout the entirety of that first half. They were very much in control of this match for quite a while, which I think for most people is going to put Furia stocks super high now.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad that third map played out the way that it did in a way, just because I think it really displayed the level of quality of both teams, where the first 2 maps were kind of awkward at times. And though, in a way, I guess it's kind of reminiscent of the way that the first map tracked, at least with how the rounds just totally flipped on their side. But we were still seeing great stuff from both teams, even when it was on the side that they were losing on in this map. I mean, you could just clearly see that both teams had an excellent idea of how they were approaching the map. I mean, you were watching just 2 of the best teams in the region right now.
Yeah, it felt like when you watched Ascent, it was a lot of layers to every single thing you watched, right? Like that round we just looked at, there were so many layers throughout the round. The early default to get control, the cat fake, the B pressure, the post plant setup. There's so many little things that these teams nail on Ascent, and I feel like it's just a matter of time. They're living here together. This is all they're focused on right now is this league. I feel like all of their maps are going to look like that soon.
Yeah, it is some incredible progress that we've already seen from Furia, and the players were great across the board, but of course we have to pick one to be the MVP, and you folks at home voted on that matter, and the results are in, leaving Khalil as our MVP. And Wyatt, this feels very fitting. He was so consistent across all 3 maps today.
Yeah, I mean, he really was. At some point, even on that Ascent game, I looked at the scoreboard. I was like, what the hell? How was he?
His anchoring
he's
was
like
so
26 and 11 or something. It was because some of the crazier plays, whatever. It's like Dijazine getting the like crazy flick onto the second guy after he gets the first headshot type thing, but Khalil is just so consistent throughout every round, always getting kills.
Good for 2.
His anchoring was so good on Ascent.
Remember when he ulted back B that round? We thought he was about to win that round, just the 3 minutes.
Yeah, he almost got like the 3-minute spray down. Yeah, nuts.
When people go to his site, he's good for 2 every time, I feel like.
Yeah, and I mean, this goes back even earlier in the day when we were talking about, like, these players have always been good. People forgot how good they were, but I think today Furia proved that they are finally living up to that potential. But with that, the first day of week 2 is in the book. So let's take a little peek at our standings here. And I mean, obviously, after day 1, the biggest thing I'm noticing is Leviatán 1-1. Where does this kind of place our expectations on this squad now, Sean?
Ooh, well, I think they don't have to hang their heads on this. I rank Furia very highly, as I've said all day long. So I think Leviatán, honestly, probably is going to take this on the chin. It's like a kind of domestic matchup, a little bit of variance there. They probably understand how each other plays. So I don't think there's anything to overreact to as a Leviatán fan.
Yeah, and I could be wrong since we've only seen them play once so far, but I can't imagine a lot of the other teams are going to be beating NRG. So just having that win already in the book too, that could kind of, down the line, beating NRG may have actually afforded them a loss like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But talking about beating NRG, we have 2 more fantastic matchups coming tomorrow. Sentinels versus NRG, a fantastic NA versus NA kind of clout matchup there. And then we have another South American bout between MIBR and Crew. For all of you at home, we thank you folks so much for watching. And thank you guys for joining me on the desk. As we do end out the day here, have a last little look at your Prime Gaming post-match highlights. And we'll see you same place, same time tomorrow. Hello and welcome to week 2 of VCT Americas, coming to you live from the Riot Games Arena right here in Los Angeles, California. Brazil's #1 squad faces off against Cloud9, a fallen super team looking to regain their expectations with 2 brand new players. And now it's a question of how well can you play against one of the world's best.
All 4 players of Loud still stuck towards the top as Rooney fights from the back. Make that even 3 for him. And that's a lockdown and a shutdown for C9 on a post plant. And Rooney just playing behind the box. A double swing. And denies everything. Leaf looking back down. Trying to salvage the thrash, but Leaf is once again there. And C9 win the first map.
Mind-blowing.
There's that Hunter's Fury.
Shoot it back.
And he fights back. It's a Legolas battle. And now back on the tap onto despite the jump spot. And it's going to be Kaladzine that wins it. Silva versus Silva. But that clock is ticking out onto that spike. And it's still going to be Loud all over that scoreboard.
Loud punishes that aggression just a little bit. And we find ourselves going to a game 3.
Gets immediately get traded off by Aspas, who continues picking up the off on a 3 versus 1. Stopped by Kaladzine. The advantage L for Loud, and it's a collat coming out from Aspas. And then spotting onto the second one in between the Sage wall. Loud landing another L onto Cloud9 this time.
Whoa.
Furia versus Leviatán, 2 teams looking to find the peak of Valorant in South America and definitely fighting for a slot in Tokyo.
King's already gotten it to half, and he should be able to take it the whole way. I don't know that Khalil has it. Oh, he stopped it. Time is not great. He's got it in. Khalil gets 4. What can Mazine do? A little damage towards Taco, but that's all it is. 3 on the round for the Star. Furia having to push the pace, having to take the fight to Leviatán, and Leviatán are glad to receive. What a response, man. The 3-9 blessing strikes again. That's insane. Ooh. Khalil, 2 crispy ones. The third just around the corner, and he falls too. Creeping forward. Khalil's got it to 1. Oh my gosh.
The Spectre clutch god is Khalil.
We're heading to Ascent.
Solid recovery mentally here from Furia.
That volley should be good. It's gotten it down to a 1v1. What is this map, man? DG's into those blades! 4 HP goes wide. The Sheriff's a bang through the wall! What on earth is this?
There's no way! Shy's not cleared. Oh no.
He's patient. 1, 2, yeah, the transfer's clean. The third falls as well.
Can they get naded themselves? Reclear coming here. Oh! What?
managing to avoid all of the utility, managing to avoid all of the damages. QCK has arrived!
He's gonna go with the drone.
Of course he goes aggressive and he's rewarded for it! And it's just too much! The Fury of Brazil takes down the Latin American juggernauts!